Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to UVAP podcast. Hi, Priyanka. How are you?
Hello, I am very good and I hope you are also very good.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So, welcome everyone to another insightful episode of UVAP, which is weight loss, nutrition, intermittent fasting, and holistic solution for healthy lifestyle. We will deep dive into holistic health, nutrition, and fitness journey. Today, we are going to unravel the complexities of very important topic. जब भी हम health के बारे में बात करते हैं, it is always weight loss. It is simple, but it is complex also. So today we are going to cover everything from nutrition to fitness tips, everything. So whether you are new to this journey or looking for a sustainable way to maintain healthy weight, this episode is for you. So, welcome, Priyanka. So, let's just dive into the topic. So, first thing I want to ask is that there's a lot of information floating around what constitutes a healthy diet and what are some of the myths revolving around diet. So, if you can just go
Sure,
ahead with
no,
that.
that's a great question because in today's day and age where information is so much available, it's easy to get carried away. And there are so many things which become fashion. And after a few years, you have a new fashion coming up. And I think it's a very good question that at the onset itself, we should clear out the myths. So, according to me, the myths I would classify as three different areas of myths. The
Hmm.
first one is extremism. Like when something becomes fashion, that is the only truth. I do not know any other truth. It is keto. It is keto for everyone. That is the only truth. It is veganism. Then that becomes that becomes the holy grail for everything,
Hmm.
right? Or it is carnivore diet, or it is high protein diet, or it is low fat diet. See, what happens is like every diet has a utility. I'm not saying that none of them have any work. Of
Hmm.
course, people who made it, it may have worked for them, but believing that the same thing will work everywhere in all the situation, and especially if the diets are very extremist in nature, like you are eating just one thing and for the next 3 days you will keep on doing the same thing. So I think that is number one thing, that whenever you hear any thoughts which are very extremist in nature, ki my way or the highway, as in there is no third rule, and there is no aspect of what is my life, what is like maybe it just worked for me but it is not going to work for you. That is a possibility. And what you also need to realize is like in everything in life, the concept of balance has to be there,
Hmm.
and extremism is anything but balance. This is the opposite of balance. You just go too much of one side, maybe under, again I'm not saying these diets have got no utility. In a
Correct.
certain situation these diets can work magically well for you as well,
Hmm.
but is that situation going on with everybody? And should I be that much confident on one particular piece of diet that I will say this is the only one and everything else is not true? Because we have to remember, like, as humanity, we all don't live in the same situation. you know
Correct.
some people live in extreme cold weathers, some
Hmm.
people live in extreme hot weathers, and some people live on beach side, some people live on mountain.
Correct.
So how can the same thing, their requirement is different. When you are on a mountain, your lungs need a different capacity versus when you are on plains. When you are
Hmm.
in extreme cold weather, your body needs to work much higher to maintain your body temperature, whereas a person living on the beach may not require so many calories to just maintain his body weight or her body weight. So
Correct.
how can you say it is the same 2000 calorie diet for everyone, and if you
Hmm.
want to bulk up it is 500 calories? Why? Did you see where the person is? The person living in Iceland or is the
Hmm.
person living in Mumbai? In Mumbai, I don't need to maintain my body temperature. It's already like 35 degrees Celsius here. Like, so see, you
Hmm.
have to see how much going to be less versus you are living in a place which is like 2 degree, minus 10 degree. All those things require much more calories. So it
Correct.
cannot be, it may, so again, so for a person living in Iceland, he may see very good result on himself, he may see very good result on his family, and then he will make a YouTube video that this is the new revolution for the next century. Now that is bad. because you have to understand different things work for different people. Any type of extremism is number one myth. So anybody who is telling you this is the only way, that is something that you need to raise your antennas. Second thing which I feel is lacking a lot, and when we listen to various type of videos, is personalization, which is a little related to point number one which I mentioned. Personalization to your body, personalization to your situation in life,
Correct.
personalization to your type of work, because different type of work need different type of demands from your body. Not every work, some work they require you to be very sharp, some work require you to be very vocal, you have to be very good with words. Some work would require you to run around a lot, some work would require you to actually break stones.
Correct.
So your work will determine what type of a diet you need. Your body will determine what is your age. Are there any conditions that you currently have? Is there any symptoms which your body is giving? Are you having hair fall? Is your vision not very good? Do you have trouble breathing? Are you getting some marks on your nails? Do you get pain at night? What are those personal symptoms? Because each of these personal symptoms is a talking which your body is doing to you. But the question is, are you listening? So the personalization aspect I feel is highly missing. And when we say personalization, it's not only limited to I have diabetes, I have PCOD, I have hormonal issues, then one diet for everyone. No, not just your known disease, but your symptoms, your work, your relationships, your emotions. Some people get very angry. Some people get very lethargic. Some people get very anxious all the time. There are different diets which will help in each of these cases. If you feed a lot of masalas and lal mirchi and hari mirchi to the angry guy, now he is going to become a monster, because you just fired him up. Whereas, like, if you are going to give very calming food, too much calming food to a person who is already getting lethargic, he will get more calm. So see, depends on your body type, and this aspect I feel is missing. And it's not really a myth, but anything which is not personalization is a myth, because then you are saying this works for everyone. We are not same, and hence diet need to be very unique to us. And another myth which I hear all the time is people will tell you, okay, eat 4 times a day, eat like after this much to that much time gap, and then that way. So 4 times a day. What is missing is या उठते ही ये खाना है, सोने से पहले ये खाना है, like just before workout ये खाना है, after workout ये खाना है. What is missing is hunger. Common sense. I am ready to digest whatever you give me.
Correct.
If I am not hungry, let's say, and I'll give you an example. Let's say you are unwell. You don't feel hungry, right? That's very obvious that you don't feel hungry. Why? Because what happens is, let's say this is your house. Okay? Now chores have come. Thieves have come. Will you tell your maid कि अभी खाना बनाओ ना? How stupid is that? Do you think जैसे ही घर पे चोर आए हैं, everybody in the house, सबका फोकस होगा इनको बाहर निकालो और अपनी सेफ्टी करो, right? So जब बॉडी में चोर आए हैं, यानी कि गलत कोई वायरस, गलत कोई बैक्टीरिया आ गया जिसने तंग कर रखा है, उस टाइम do you think body cares about digestion? Obviously body will say, let me handle it for the time being. Now, if you have this diet that, okay, eat 4 times a day, eat after every 3 hours, otherwise body will, protein कम हो जाएगा, right? As if अगर हम like जैसे बाहर जब शेर होता है, शेर तो 3-3 दिन में 4-4 दिन में एक बार खाता है, प्रोटीन कम हो जाता है उसका. So like some things let's not approach food with a feeling of fear कि ये नहीं करेंगे तो पक्का ये हो जाएगा. You have to believe body is very evolved. And it is so evolved that it keeps on talking to you through various things which you call as hunger, which you call as emotions, which you call as symptoms. उनको नहीं सुनते, then you call them diseases.
Correct.
the idea that we have to put whenever it comes to diet, be it weight loss diet or be it PCOD diet or be it diabetic diet, the idea that you need to have is always take care of the basics. No extremism.
Correct.
किसी के लिए वर्क कर रहा है जरूरी नहीं है मेरे लिए करेगा. नो मैटर हाउ मच आई ट्रस्ट दैट गाय. उनके लिए किया. वो आइसलैंड में बैठे हैं, मैं मुंबई में बैठे हैं, अलग हो सकता है. कीप ओपन टू दैट पॉसिबिलिटी. एंड वो पॉसिबिलिटी हाउ डू आई नो? I keep on listening to the signs which my body is giving. So if it is working for me, my body will say yes. If it is not working for me, my body will say no. I'm not saying do not listen to all the people. Listen to everybody, but the final judgment will come from your own body. And that is what you have to tune your mind into, listening to all those signs which your body is giving, and hunger being one. So, like, rules around diet, too many rules around diet without listening to the signs which your own body is giving, I think that is the biggest myth. You make
Right.
toolkits, you make diet charts, you make all those things, but if the diet charts do not include ki listen every time you eat, what happens? See, is your is your body getting itching after you eat a food? Maybe that may be a superfood, not for you.
Correct.
Are you feeling bloated after eating a food which a particular influencer said? Okay, it may be working for them. I'm not saying they're lying, but it is not for you. So that amount of personalization, that amount of listening to the body aspect, I think that is missing whenever we talk about diets and whenever we overgeneralize diets.
Correct. So if I just summarize this, the first 2 points would be more like that one size does not fit all. So it is like customization is mandatory because some person might be sitting in America, in extreme temperatures, somebody in cold temperature, somebody in hot temperature. So diet has to be customized as per your situation, your mental state, your work, how do you work? So kind of customize. So these two myths surround around that customization. And
Exactly.
third would be that whenever you feel hungry, then only eat. Because normally this we can learn from nature also that if somebody has pet at their home, so whenever they are not well, they don't eat. And normally हमारे में क्या होता है, whenever we are not well, मम्मा आएगी आज दाल बना देती हूँ तेरे को, let's eat something. अगर तेरा
Yes.
मन नहीं
Yes.
कर रहा तो I will give you something sweet, हलवा खा ले. So this is
Exactly.
something which
Exactly.
should not be done.
So man nahi kar raha, respect it. Simple. Why we have to complicate the matters? If my body is saying don't eat, don't eat. You are not going to die. It's only a matter of few hours and you will feel hungry. And hungry matlab, body is now ready. Bring it on. Now this time, even if you take a vada pav, you will be able to digest it. Even if you eat chole bhature when you are very hungry, it will not hurt you too much.
Correct. Right. So I would just come to next question that whenever we come talk about weight loss challenge or weight loss journey, so always we start at very high note. मतलब starting होती है with full enthu, but within 1 or 2 weeks, even like a New Year resolution, by 5th or 6th January it is over. So how do you? What would you suggest to those people who are not able to keep them motivated for a longer period of time?
So I'll tell you, which are, from experience. A lot of people ask for diet tips
My
and,
question is also from my experience.
yeah, sorry?
My question is also from my experience.
Yes. So, I'll tell you, what are the timings when people are most motivated and which are the people I have seen best results in? One, you catch them when they just got admitted to the hospital or they just got a very big diagnosis. Okay, my God, now I have this for life. Diagnose wo chronic disease wala ki abhi pura life khana padega ye dawai. So that is the time when and it is unfortunate because a lot of people wait till that time happens and then then you start doing that. But us time motivation is extremely high. When you just get diagnosed, ki now this is a lifelong problem. Not short-term problem, people will say, okay, I'll have some few pills and I'll be okay. Second type of people I have seen most motivated when they're about to get married. Bhai, best piece dikhna chahiye us time.
Right. Events.
That is the second. And third category of people I have again seen very motivated is, especially, because I speak to quite a lot of girls who are getting ready for pageantry and all. So at that time also people are very motivated. So basically, you have some competition or some goal coming up. So these are the three people, whatever you tell them, they will do. But now talking about that, but this will be like, see, disease is a big population. So this will be about 20-25% of the population who will fall in this bracket. But what about everybody? And even to those people, when they have met their goal, शादी हो गई, अब उसके बाद क्या? या पेजेंट हो गया, अब उसके बाद क्या? और अब डिजीज होके भी 2 साल हो गए, अब तो खाना ही है. And I have accepted it. So now, what about the other type of people? Not other type, which is majority of all of us. So I would say there are 4 things. And these are the things which causes many a times lack of motivation. The first one is we expect a lot from us in 1 week, 1 month. But we over expect what we can achieve in 1 month, but we completely underestimate what we can achieve in 1 year or 2 years. Because utna visibility nahi hai. So what will happen is, now let's say if you have a lot of expectation at the very beginning itself, which is good, but what happens is you do not need, it's related to the second point also in some way. You do not need too much drama around fitness. That, big themes. This is what I'm doing. This is the new diet. This is the biggest Ironman marathon I'm going to do. This is, it's life. Keep it quite simple. It's plain, simple, small things that makes all the difference. Because if you create a lot of drama around steps, I like dramatic things. They work for a while, but then you leave them after a point. So you need to remember that the steps are going to be very small, easy, non-glamorous. Just like खाने से पहले एक खीरा खा रहे हैं. How much glamour can you put in that? एक खीरा है जिसको छिला भी नहीं है और ऐसे ही खा लिया. Right? आप सुबह उठ के थोड़ा सा जैसे 10 मिनट नंगे पांव, you just walked on the grass. It's not glamorous. It's not like glamorous as if like, मेरा जो next marathon session है या Ironman session है. That's quite like, it will give you a lot of likes on social media. But so I'm saying that one, do not over expect initially, but over expect what these small things can do in long term. Second, no drama, very simple steps, just do them. Like something as simple as taking a pen and a paper and 5 minutes सोने से पहले journaling. Very simple. कुछ खास drama नहीं है इसके अंदर. But see what it can do in just 15 days. Only 15 days. But do it continuously. See, so जो continuity है ना, उसका impact is way more than too much strength का impact या too much drama का impact. Like, let's say today, आपको एकदम जोश आ गया and you say, I will run 5 kilometers on the treadmill. Compared to, I am only running 1 kilometer every second day. Correct. So this will work much better than, spurts of activity. See, we all do spurts of activity every once in a while, but the impact, small, palatable changes in diet, in lifestyle, in exercise, they are much more important. Consistency is the main thing that you have to understand, and that is what you should aim for. It is slow, boring, but be consistent. Consistency is the only thing which matters. There is nothing else which matters as much as consistency. Then another thing, point number 3 is family and friends. See, your company matters. And there is no denying that, like, the amount of research papers we read, a significant amount of our brain real estate is involved for social connections. We spoke about, why does our face give so many expressions? Because we like to connect with other people. And if you have your friends, family involved in the fitness journey with you, chance of you staying on that track is at least 3 times better. So,
Hmm.
and I have seen so many cases where husband and wife both are involved versus, let's say, if only husband is involved or if only wife is involved. So tell me which one would be succeeding best, second and third.
Best would be, acha, in that case. So
Ha,
best case would be that both are doing it together.
correct.
Uh, Second would be, I think, men only doing it and women not doing. No, that I don't know.
I have seen women alone can do, because see, like if you are a couple, you
Hmm.
need, because food is an important part of the entire equation. So I would say to all the men who are listening, if they can also get their wives involved, the chance of them succeeding is much, much higher. So it's
Yeah.
important,
Yes.
like, हाँ, because see, क्योंकि घर में खाना तो एक ही बनेगा, right? इतना ज्यादा वेरिएशन नहीं, मतलब लाइक थोड़ा बहुत वेरिएशन होता है पर्सन टू पर्सन,
Hmm.
बट स्टिल एटलीस्ट बेस सेम होता है, एटी
Correct.
परसेंट तो सेम होता है, वो 20% ठीक है, इसके वाले में ये ज्यादा, इसके वाले में ये ज्यादा चलेगा, बट 80% बेस वी हैव टू कीप सेम, एंड दैट इज व्हाट सॉरी, that is why your if you get your friends and family involved, that is the best thing you can do for yourself on this fitness journey. Excuse me.
Right. So you are correct. So one
Sorry.
who is looking after all the cooking activity at home,
Yes.
if they are involved in fitness journey, then obviously everybody will get a lot of salad, whether they like it or not, but they will get good
No,
food.
they will like it. See, if you don't like the salads, or if you don't like soups or the things which are there, typically I would not say it is because they are boring. The reason is typically your lack of cooking skills. I'm very sorry, but that's what it is. See,
Hmm.
if you, there are so many varieties which can be made. Like you can make, yeah, you can make Mexican salads, you can make Italian salads, you can make, like, and you can take one thing from Mexico, one thing from Italy, one thing from China. Who is stopping you to, your creativity is the only limit. And
Right.
sometimes I have eaten salads which are so tasty, you will say, why do I even want anything else after them? Because they themselves are so nice. And so again, it is limited by the creativity that the person who is cooking has.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
not
Yeah.
for lack of taste. They
Yeah.
can be very tasty and they can be very healthy. And I'm sure from my expression, you can tell that I'm not lying, because I have eaten very, very tasty salads and soups and, various type of healthy things which are also tasty. So you need to learn how to cook. And YouTube has so many videos. Even UVAP Kitchen has got so many videos. Just try them.
So that's what I was saying, that probably our book MasterChef Nani might help,
Absolutely.
which has 75 recipes. Or UVAP Kitchen, we have all the videos, I mean, all the recipes. And these are very tasty. Actually, I had experience of tasting all the
Correct.
recipes, right?
Correct. And then, because salads, like traditionally we think salad means only cucumber काट दिया एक, like, that tomato काट दिया. ऐसे कौन
Hmm.
खाता है यार? Come on. You have to make it tasty. You have to put some spices. You have to put some nuts, some, maybe some rajma, some chole, or like you have to make them tasty. Otherwise, nobody is going to eat them. And especially if you want them to make a regular part, because see, we always believe in sustainable weight loss. You don't want to do weight loss and then gain it back in another 6 months. I was looking at the stats, and as per studies, 80% of the people who lose weight will gain it back within the next 5 years. So just think about it. So if you have excess weight, half of the people won't even try, half of the people will try, उसमें से भी 80%, यानी कि 40 नेट का 40% will gain it back. So out of 100, only 10 people have done it successfully. बाकी 90 बेचारा वहीं का वहीं. One for lack of trying because they were never motivated, and one tried but tried using all the wrong methods.
Correct.
So always think sustainability.
Hmm.
And my next point is actually about that, which is, the reason people lose motivation midway is because they make it a target. Steps counting target, right? Subah, I go for walk. So many people are walking so fast, looking at their watches, looking at their smart watches. What did I do? What did I do? See, while that is very good, it runs quite well in the short term, but you don't want another work. See, You have work in office. Now this is another target that you have taken on you. They work in the short term, they do not work in the long term. If you want to do it sustainably, if you want to do it properly, it is a flow state. See, there is difference between drama and flowing. Flowing is, this is the way of life. It is not a target till my wedding. It is not a target till my beauty pageant, or it is not a target which I will, do just for 1 month or 2 months. If you want to do it sustainably, it is a lifestyle disorder. Weight gain is not a disease. It's a lifestyle disorder, which of course causes a lot of diseases. But in order to cure a lifestyle disorder, can you take a pill? You have to cure the lifestyle. Even if you take a pill, again, that's a short-term target-driven approach.
Correct.
See, in meditation, so many people say कि meditation हो नहीं रहा. अरे उधर भी टारगेट लेके बैठ जाते हैं. आज तो मेरा पूरा ध्यान लगना चाहिए. ये जो लाइफ होता है, this is a goalless goal. The way to achieve it is to leave the goal.
Correct.
The more you run after it, the more away you get from it. Same with weight loss.
All the cases, whenever you run after something, it goes away. You just leave it away, it will come to you.
अरे भाई, normal life है, normal उस तरीके से जियो. Like, and marathon. I know, and it can be a little controversial, but have you ever seen any animal in nature running aimlessly for 42 kilometers? Have you ever seen a lion do that? Have you ever seen a cheetah do that? Nobody does that.
So there was a dog running. So while I was doing marathon, there was a dog running for like 7-8 kilometers along with me without any reason.
And then he realized, his reason, maybe you will give him something. Because maybe you are a dog lover, you feed dogs. So he was expecting that. But he expected that till a while and then said कि अभी तो ये पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं, I have to go.
Might be possible.
So, just look around in nature, and the idea is do not be so targeted, because then you added one more thing into your list of targets and one more thing into your stress, which will further take you away from the real goal.
Correct.
So take slow steps, take easy steps, learn cooking, learn. See, you have to realize sometimes in order to do all these things, you will have to learn a few skill set, which is okay. With the right people, and UVAP is doing so much in this area, you can learn a lot of these things. So this will be a very interesting way of life. This is not a target. This is an interesting, enjoying, happy way of life. There is no targets. But of course, you will meet your targets, your weight will lose, you will, reverse your PCOD, your diabetes, and all the things, your hair fall, your skin, all these things will start showing you that you are on the right path.
Correct. So in short, it should be like, we should keep it simple without expecting too much.
Yes.
And it should not be target based, because target, whenever you listen, that word target gives you stress.
Yes.
So don't add additional stress in your life. And third would be like involve your friends and family, so that you can go a long way.
Correct.
And take cooking classes from UVAP kitchen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So whenever we talk about weight loss, one word is always in a buzz: intermittent fasting. So what's your take on that? Or is it good? Does that work or does not? Because you said that customization is always necessary. So I don't think that in case of intermittent fasting, people go for customization. They just go, I will go for 16-8, 24. Eating for 4 hours and then 20 hours window without eating anything. So what's your take on that?
Sure. So intermittent fasting, from a concept perspective, it's a great concept. And I would say that, you have made it a concept in these days. This is the way of life. Like, you think about it, Jain culture, they were always doing intermittent fasting all their life, right? And a lot of people, imagine you were not living in these houses and all, if you were living in jungle. would you be eating at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night? Then lion will come and eat you. So typically what would you do? You would eat during the sunlight hours, and then sunlight khatam, then people go into their caves or wherever their shelter is. You would not be venturing out so much at night. And food means venturing out, whether you are eating plants or whether you are eating vegetables or whether you are eating non-veg or whatever you are eating. So intermittent fasting, that means eating for some time and then not eating for some time, is a way of life. And especially if you are, and even in intermittent fasting, there are studies done that if you time your intermittent fasting with sunlight, so like you are eating till the sun is there, and as the sun goes down, you stop eating. That one works much better compared to, let's say, you start eating at 1 o'clock and then you keep eating till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, like that. So the more you marry it to sunlight, and even if we look at Ayurveda, so what does Ayurveda say? Sun is the source of fire. And in order to digest food, what do you need? You need fire. In order to take the nutrients from the food, you need a strong fire. So that is why, as a concept, it's a great concept. Now, whether you want to do 16 hours of fasting and then 8 hours or 14, 10, it depends on where you are currently. See, wherever you are, you have to take slow steps toward creating at least some fasting periods. For example, let's say you are getting up at 7 o'clock. From 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock, abhi to pura hi khate the. So the only break which was between 11 to 7, which is 16 hours of eating and 8 hours of resting. Let's say if somebody is there, so they would not go to 16-8. Their body will revolt, their mind will revolt. It's not, again, slow, sustainable, non-dramatic steps कि मैं कल से एकदम ऐसे हो जाऊंगा. हो सकते हो, जिस दिन बड़ी बीमारी लगती है उस दिन अगले दिन आदमी हो जाता है. I have seen that happen in a number of cases. या जैसी शादी फिक्स हुई अगले दिन से ड्रामा चालू, तो वहां पे होता है. But we are talking about long-term solutions. So if I am at 16 hours of eating and 8 hours of fasting, what will I do? एक घंटा करके पीछे आऊंगी. And then I will keep on training my mind, keep on training my body. The idea is whenever you are thinking about something as important as food, because food यहां से भी बहुत खाया जाता है, खाली पेट से नहीं आवाज आती उसकी, ये बोलता है तब खाता है आदमी. So you have to take your mind support. You are not against your mind. You have to be with your mind. वो दोस्त बना के चलना है उसके साथ. अगेंस्ट चलोगे, बोलोगे माइंड को कंट्रोल करूंगा, वो ऐसे खड़ा होके बोलेगा या डू इट, लेट्स सी व्हाट यू कैन डू. थोड़े दिन करो, 6 महीने तुम्हें करने देते, उसके बाद फिर देखते राजा कौन यहाँ पे. You cannot control it. Don't even try it. See, let's look at scientifically. That day I was listening to brain doctors and people who have researched a lot into, the structure of the brain. And also, I also listen a lot to psychology, world leading psychologists in this. So your conscious mind is what? 4%, 5%, depending upon how good or bad you are. 4, 5, 6%, that range. Subconscious and unconscious are way bigger. Don't even think you can control them. It's impossible.
Correct.
You have to work with them. So if I am at 16 hours of eating and today and tomorrow I tell it will be 8 hours of eating, okay, good luck with that. Maybe for a month, then we are going to bounce back like crazy. Because अगर पिक्चर में जैसे वो होता है ना कि आपको इंडिया में रहना है, तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर का ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. प्राइम मिनिस्टर का ध्यान नहीं दोगे और बोलोगे फिर ठीक है मोदी जी ने ध्यान नहीं दिया आपके ऊपर, नहीं दिया, लेकिन जिस दिन फिर उनको कभी तो नजर पड़ जाएगी आपके ऊपर, and then they will, your weight loss journey is over then. And especially people who have tried to lose weight will be able to relate to this, because don't try to control your mind and don't try to be so dramatic. आपको वो हाथी है, माइंड जो है, उसको कैसे हाथी को जब ट्रेन करते हैं, जब उसको डोमेस्टिकेट करते हैं, you give them a very long leash. एक एक करके रोल होता है, वो एक एक करके रोल होता है, 100-150 दिन लगते हैं, तब जाके वो डोमेस्टिकेट हो जाता है पूरा. फिर जो बोलोगे वो बोलेगा यस. आप सोच के देखो ना, इतना बड़ा हाथी, इतने से आप, और आप बोलते हो सिट डाउन, वो सिट डाउन करने लग जाता है. So it is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but do not over expect. But do not underestimate what you can do in 1 year. So 1 week को, 1 month को इतना overestimate करके 1 year को underestimate मत करो. So you will be able to do. but it will take time. Just like a child controlling the elephant is possible, same with this is also possible, but learn how did that elephant got domesticated.
Correct.
So you have
So,
to go
hmm,
slow. So it is a good concept, absolutely, but go slow around it. Keep on listening to your body as you, and at the same time, even if you are doing 16-8, which means 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating, make sure what you are eating in those 8 hours. One is with sunlight you are eating, and what you are eating in those 8 hours is a balance of your macros, your fats, your
hmm,
proteins, your carbs, and the different type of your multiple vitamins and minerals as well.
right. So it is a good concept, but we don't have to do it without with a drama. We can increase 1 hour daily basis, or maybe half an hour for a week.
So
It
1 hour, 1 hour, 1 week is a good target to
But
have.
you would say that 16-8 would be the best combination in case we are having a like a normal lifestyle. Will that be fine? 16-8 we
16
target.
again, you cannot say that for everyone. So like in Ayurveda, so there are different personalities which people have. Now women tend to do better on 14 and 10, but again, I'm not saying for all women. So again, women, let's say if a woman gets more anxious, then
Hmm.
maybe she can do 12 10 at starting and then 14 10. Men typically tend to be okay with longer hours of fasting. See, women have more hormones play happening all the time. So you
Correct.
have to understand how much is this women getting affected by the hormones already, and then what part of the cycle she's on.
Hmm.
If is she towards the towards the time when her date is about to come, that time maybe give her a little bit more leeway. But then other times you can be strict. So again, it is a very personalized concept. So you
Correct.
cannot say 16-8 is the right one, because then we will be kind of countering what we just said in the earlier part of this podcast.
Correct.
But it's a good concept. It's a concept worth trying, because what happens is when you put your body in a fasted state, जिस दिन खोलने का time आएगा खुलेंगे नहीं. You are there and you have lost all the keys. So fasting gives the body that opportunity to go test your tijoris. Is there something? No, not something. Then you sometimes you eat food which Vikas has given you just now, or sometimes you eat food which is already stored.
Hmm.
Again, taking your house example, if you give your maid target that you have to cook 4 times a day, then every few hours she is cooking. जैसे ही breakfast खत्म हुआ, now she has moved to lunch. जैसे ही lunch खत्म हुआ, now she has moved to snacks. जैसे ही snacks खत्म हुआ, अभी dinner के तक वो थक गई, अब वो सो जाएगी, right? But let's say if she has to cook only 2 times or 1 time, she will
Hmm.
have a lot of time to clean up the kitchen. It's
Correct.
same. So you keep your body busy in digestion all the time, no cleaning time. Then your skin will look like that. You will have pimples. You will have lethargy. Your hair fall will happen, because अभी कोई cleaning का time नहीं है. अभी खाली बस जितना दिया है, let me just digest that. So intermittent fasting is a great concept. Do it right, do it slowly, and yes, you can target 14, 10, 16, 8 over time.
Right. So when we talk about weight loss journey, after this food always comes exercise.
Yes.
And at UVAP, we put too much emphasis on yoga. That yoga is for mental well-being. So does that yoga or maybe power yoga help in weight loss also? I would like to know, because I mean our classes, most of the classes we have on rotation basis, but yoga we have every day. So what is the concept behind that, and does that help in weight loss also?
Yes. So, see, whenever you are thinking of weight loss, think about, I have to use my body parts for and different ways I have to use my body parts. So, what are the few ways in which I can use my body? My muscles need to have flexibility. So, goal number 1, flexibility, that I should be flexible. Number 2, strength. Because from time to time, I will have to lift vegetables, I will have to lift my son, I will have to do whatever. So, I need strength. Number 3, I need smoothness. Now, this is smoothness. Some people, they will dance like this, right?
Yeah.
This is smooth. This is smooth. Like you move your finger like a little bit up, a little bit down. This is called smooth movement. So, smoothness होनी चाहिए body में, right? जैसे वो जो पुराने जमाने में जैसे हमारे जितने भी क्लासिकल डांसेस होते हैं, उसमें बहुत स्मूथनेस होती है. And then the last thing, that a skill that you need in your muscles is explosiveness. Explosiveness means jump. अचानक से भागना पड़ा ठप करके एकदम, you can come from 0 to 100 in a very short while. Like look at cheetah, how he does 0 to 100 kilometer per hour. क्या speed से आता है वो 3 सेकंड के अंदर. I don't know, something like that. These numbers work, right? So like you need that explosiveness. So once you have these 4 skill set, pretty much a lot of things in your body can take care of themselves. So think about, so whenever you are planning a workout routine, call it whatever, call it yoga, call it power yoga, call it strength training, call it dance, you have to see, am I getting these 4 things on a weekly basis or not? So yoga is of course one significant part of it, especially around flexibility. And that's why, in UVAP programs, we have yoga, and we also have a little bit of strength training, not a little bit, we have strength training and dance as well. Right? Now, strength training is around building your muscles. When it comes to weight loss, you have to think of muscles as an endocrine organ. Your muscles can actually help you lose weight. People who are more muscular can digest a lot more type of food compared to people who do not have muscles. So muscles will help you in like 1000 number of things. Weight loss is one of them. So you have to think about strength training, resistance training, especially as you age, because you lose muscle mass as you age. So I would not just say only yoga, because see, yoga in the traditional sense and what yoga is now are a little different. And that's why I like to mix yoga with explosive movements with strength training as well. So what an ideal routine would look like is, maybe I'm doing 4 times a week, I'm doing yoga, 2 times I'm doing strength training, and then 2 times I'm doing dance. So this gives me opportunity to work on my cardio, because see, आपको एक चीज का ना pattern नहीं बनाना. The more you put your body in uncomfortable situation, the better it is for your brain. Now we are seeing so many people live much longer and they are getting dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. These are disease of the brain. If you want to live till 70, 80, 90, you don't want to be bedridden or dependent on other people, right? If you want to be doing that, you have to start working on your brain quite early on. And that's why make your exercise routine as a mix of yoga, strength training, and dance, which is what we do at UVAP wellness classes. And that's why, one, you don't get bored. See, people leave things because they get bored. Second, if you keep on working on only one thing at a time, ना थोड़े दिन बाद brain को उसकी आदत हो जाती है. वो आपके वही सारे आसन कर देगा बिना कोई तंग हुए. पहले इतने flexible हो, और flexibility की करे जा रहे हो. What's the point? आपको अभी सीढ़ियां चढ़ाएंगे आप 5 फ्लोर में, तो आप थक जाओगे. Don't you think you should work on that aspect as well? Because life is not one area only. Life can happen the way it wants to happen. And the idea of exercise is to prepare you for life. The idea of the exercise is not कि वो 1 घंटे में, आधा घंटा में, जितना भी देर दिया, उसमें क्या कर रहे हो. The idea of the exercise is so that rest of the 23 hours are fantastic. That is what the idea of exercise is. Because you do not know what will happen next. कहाँ से अभी Yuvan will come and jump on me, and then I need to have some strength. Otherwise, and now he is also 40 kg, so I can't. Right. So you have to understand that life can happen in multiple ways, and hence train your body so that you are trained for life. Lift नहीं चल रही है, आपका 10वें फ्लोर पे घर है, चढ़ने की ताकत होनी चाहिए. That will require strength in your muscles. Maybe yoga जो है वो आपको एक चीज दे रहा है. So तभी see इन सबका combination, balance. Again, यहाँ पर भी हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? Personalization. Depending upon what is your goal, what is your current state in life, whether you are somebody who is already very hyper, उसको हम डांस कम कराएंगे अगर हाइपर है बहुत ज्यादा, उसको योगा में ज्यादा डालेंगे. और somebody who is very slow, उसको बोलेंगे भाई तू डांस 4 बार करो आप. Right? So depends on the personality, depends on the type of person. अब कोई very angry guy है, right? Now very angry guy gym में भी जाके एकदम heavy. So you have to understand not all exercise will help your mind also same way as they help your body. So you have to do a full kind of mental body scan, and then you see what is the best wellness routine for this body. There is no perfect wellness routine. Like I told you, body को ये चारों चीजों की जरूरत है, but आपको चारों में से किसकी जरूरत है? That is a $1 million question. Because otherwise people will say, I am going to gym for the last 1 year, यार कुछ होता नहीं है. I have a treadmill at home, yaar, not so effective. I keep walking. I see people walking all the time. कुछ नहीं हो रहा. पेट वहीं का वहीं है, डिट्टो. नहीं जाएगा. Walking से पेट नहीं जाने वाला. उसके लिए अलग तरीके से काम करना पड़ेगा. So depending upon what is the problem which your body is manifesting, which your mind is manifesting, your wellness routine has to be married with that. So personalized wellness. Extremely important. No one size fit all.
Correct. So whenever we are deciding any exercise, we have to look whether it is getting us flexibility, strength, or smoothness, and we should also be ready for explosive energy.
Yes.
And so you said that we can combine various exercises, but for brief, so we have already customized these plans in our UWAP classes. So if somebody wants to try that, we can just provide them trial classes also for same, because they don't have to. We don't want people to think that today they should do this yoga, because we have planned for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday different yogas. We have already planned that based on science, so people can try that also. So coming on to my next question, that one of the problem which we face while doing this weight loss journey is binge eating. So because I may be doing exercises, doing diet for like a week, then I go for a movie on weekend. Then that day is like I do a lot of eating, binge eating, and so what are some of the techniques which can help in that?
Sure. So we'll talk about 3 different things in it. But the first thing that I want everybody to remember is, like you mentioned, I did very nice diet for the week, and then I went for a movie and it was gone. Expect it. Why were you not expecting it? It's okay. This will happen. So wait, you cannot be thinking of turning James Bond overnight. It's a process. So when we start meditating, ध्यान भटकना expected, होना ही है. उठाओ और वापस ले आओ. As simple as that. So do not expect no error will happen. In fact, expect error will happen. You will be in a much better place that way. That's number one. That you have to assume कि कभी-कभी ऐसा हो जाएगा and it's okay. No problem. जैसे हुआ अगले दिन वापस से ट्रैक पे आ गए. कोई बात नहीं. As long as मेरी होने की फ्रीक्वेंसी आप कुछ समय में देखोगे कम हो रही है. पहले वो हर दूसरे दिन होता था. अब कम से कम हर चौथे दिन हो रहा है. It's a good thing. फिर हफ्ते में एक बार हो रहा है. Excellent. हफ्ते में एक बार में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. If you are eating properly, हफ्ते में 1 से 1.5 बार में भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. दिक्कत किसी भी चीज में नहीं है. आप जहां पे भी आज हो उससे बेटर कर रहे हो. That's enough. Do not expect आज मैं 0 पे था कल मैं 100 पे आऊंगा. There is a full spectrum in the middle. So आप कहां पे हो और आप उससे बेटर अगर हो रहे हो, please, that is all you should expect. And slowly, week by week, we take the journey ahead. That's number one. Secondly, binge eating, yeah, if you say, sometimes हमारा अचानक से कुछ सामने चिप्स का पैकेट आ गया and we start eating that. See, it's also sometimes a sign that the body is lacking something. Now, what is it lacking? It could be lacking proteins. It could be lacking minerals. It could be lacking vitamins. It could be lacking quality fat. Carbs lack कम करते हैं लोग, but बाकी सब yes. So you have to see कि maybe when you get cravings for that type of sugary food, that type of salty food, it's a sign from the body. Body did not say कि मुझे वो chips खाने थे. Body ने बोला मन कर रहा है कुछ खाने का. Now that is because कुछ कमी है. I want to fill that. I am hoping as a body, I am hoping this time they will feed me what I am lacking. आपने feed किए chips. Let's say body said नहीं मिला. Okay, दोबारा से चालू करो. दोबारा से प्रोसेस इनिशिएट करते हैं. लेट्स क्रिएट हंगर. लेट्स क्रिएट दैट वांटिंग टू ईट समथिंग. इस बार तो खिलाएगा, पक्का खिलाएगा. अच्छा, फिर वही आलू टिक्की आई. ओके, थोड़ी देर बाद वो फिर आएगा. तभी आप देखोगे when you are not eating the nutritious type of meals, you will feel hungry much more. You will start feeling hungry after 1 hour only, after 1.5 hours only. And we have spoken about this multiple times. Like, you cannot be a car which needs petrol fuel every 1 hour. Then it's quite a useless car.
Correct.
So you need to, create a respectful car at least, yeah. You can't be needing fuel every 1 hour. Matlab, really? Otherwise, it will not work. So what you have to understand is these are signs, and we have to read these signs. Why is it asking again and again? Maybe I try a good fat meal this time. Maybe I try a good protein meal this time. Maybe I try a lot of fibers. Maybe सुबह उठते ही मैं सबसे पहले वो जो फ्रूट खा रहा था, जो मुझे किसी डाइटिशियन ने बोला था कि सुबह उठते ही केला खाओ, maybe that is not working for me. It's making me more hungry. I rather need a good source of protein or fat in the morning. So you have to see of this binge eating episode as a sign from the body, and you have to listen to it कि इससे पहले क्या हुआ था. पहले तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज कि उससे हमें हताश नहीं होना, ये होगा कभी कभी. एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज कि उसको स्टडी जरूर करना. अच्छा ये हो गया, नो बिग डील, आई विल गो बैक टू माई डाइट, बट व्हाट डिड आई डू बिफोर दैट? What did I eat before that I was hungry so soon? What? And then the second, इसी के अंदर the second dimension is, one is the body is needing some nutrient. Second is the mind is needing something. Now that's a big subject. Mind को चाहिए था प्यार, उसने बोला कुछ तो दो, इसने कहा खाना ही दे देता है यार, खाना सामने पड़ा है. माइंड को चाहिए थी इज्जत, खाना ही दे दो यार. माइंड को चाहिए था, मे बी ग्रीड भी चाहिए था, उसको पैसा चाहिए था, वो नहीं मिला, खाना ही दो यार, कुछ तो दो. सो जो माइंड की भूख होती है, समटाइम्स इफ वी आर नॉट वेरी सेंसिटिव, यू विल नॉट डिफरेंशिएट कि ये भूख यहां से आ रही है कि यहां से आ रही है, पेट से. सो पेट की भूख, आई टोल्ड यू, इट कम्स बिकॉज मे बी आई एम लैकिंग सम मैक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स और माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स और फाइबर. माइंड की भूख कैन कम because of the emotional reasons which we discussed in our session on PTSD, depression and all those things as well. But वो जो भूख है, कई बार आपने तभी देखा होगा जब आप सैड होते हो आप ज्यादा खाते हो, राइट? जब आपको कहीं लड़ाई हुई होती है तो ज्यादा खाते हो. चलो हाँ, स्ट्रेस ईटिंग, करेक्ट. And usually stress eating is not the healthy type of eating. You don't eat like eggs in stress eat, or like you don't eat like good sources of fats or protein. You don't eat avocado when you are stressed, right? You like refined carbs at that time, you like sugar, you like salt at that time. So वो हमें ध्यान देना है. And वो माइंड का जो है कि मैं बोर हो रहा हूँ, चलो कुछ काम नहीं है, खा लेता हूँ. That is something you have to. और इसमें क्या है कि कुछ करना नहीं है, सिर्फ वॉच करना है. Again, it is like that naughty child. If you just watch the child doing what it is doing, it will start behaving itself.
Correct.
So as soon as you know, अच्छा ये हुआ था, that is why I was doing this. Then next time, whenever that happens, mind will say, okay, now it might happen. So you already decrease the probability.
Correct.
So the idea is to understand these episodes of binge eating as something that maybe my mind or my body was needing.
Correct.
And then learn through those episodes. Take each episode not as a something to be discouraged about, but take it as a learning opportunity. Okay, what was I doing earlier? Oh, मेरे boss ने मुझे डांटा था, उसके बाद मैंने खाया था. Okay, clear correlation. It makes sense. It makes complete sense. Okay, मेरा performance appraisal हुआ था, उसके बाद मैंने खाया था.
Correct.
Again, very, very, clear correlation. I'm not saying they will not happen again, but find those correlations. What are those correlations for you? Correct. I get bored, खा लेता हूँ. I go to party, excitement में खा लेता हूँ. Right? So वो again, so मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि मत खाओ. कभी कभी खाओगे, it's perfectly okay, but आंख बंद करके नहीं खाना. बस देख लो कि क्यों खाया था. That's all. Start there. Do not start at मैं पूरे अपने माइंड को जो कि 100 times मेरे से स्ट्रॉन्गर है, मैं उसको पहले दिन में कंट्रोल कर लूंगा. Do not even start there. Binge eating हो रही है, do not get discouraged. लुक एट कि मेरी डाइट में क्या क्या मिसिंग है, मेरे माइंड में क्या क्या मिसिंग है, क्या इमोशंस है जो प्ले हो रहे हैं, मैं कब खाता हूँ, कभी बोर होता हूँ तब खाता हूँ, कि कभी खुश होता हूँ तब खाता हूँ, या दुखी होता हूँ, ग्रीड में होता हूँ तब खाता हूँ. सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कहां से इसका लिंक आ रहा है, और हर एक का रीजन उसके लिए अलग होगा.
Correct.
I have
So
seen
basically,
people who like money a lot. Being investment banker myself, I was an investment banker for 18 years. So, money is a common theme, right? So, if you're very greedy, sometimes your body also becomes greedy. And how does the body becomes greedy? बोलेगी पता नहीं फ्यूचर में खाना मिले ना मिले, सेव कर लो. सेव कैसे करती है? मोटापे के रूप में.
correct.
राइट, यू थिंक इट्स द सेम माइंडसेट, राइट? पैसा पता नहीं फ्यूचर में आए ना आए, जोड़ लो, यहां से भी ले लो, वहां से भी ले लो, यहां से भी कर लो, वैसे भी कर लो, राइट? सो बॉडी भी यही बोलेगी, यार खर्चा मत कर, थोड़े थोड़े कम में चला, एनर्जी आज डाउन है. सी, आपने बॉडी को दिए 2000 कैलोरी, उसने एनर्जी डाउन रखी 1000 के हिसाब से. 2000 दिए ही नहीं उसने, 1000 बचा ले यार, जोड़ ले. वही कर रहा है. जो सिखाओगे, जो सारा टाइम तुम्हारे माइंड में रहेगा, ईच सेल ऑफ योर बॉडी इज लिसनिंग. And they like to work together. They are a family. They like to work together. जो माइंड सोचेगा, बॉडी बोलेगी जी हुजूर, आई विल डू दैट. एंड देन यू विल से कि अब ये पेट क्यों इतना भार आ गया. जी हुजूर, ये आपकी तिजोरी है, जैसे आपके घर में तिजोरी है, ये भी एक तिजोरी है. सेविंग्स है. बिकॉज वी डू नॉट नो. आपको तो इतना डर लगता रहता है ना फ्यूचर में, पता नहीं क्या हो. तो मुझे भी डर लगा फ्यूचर में आपको खाना नहीं मिलेगा, तो मैंने सेव कर लिया.
Correct. So basically, yeah. So basically, we should be okay with binge eating as long as we are improving every day. कभी एक बार हुआ 2 दिन में, and maybe next time जब हुआ तो 5 days के gap हुआ. So if you are improving, then it is okay. But whenever you are feeling कि आपका binge eating हुआ है, you should analyze what exactly happened. Root cause क्या था उसका?
Yeah.
You exactly what happened before that कि आपने binge eating की. Analyze it and try to resolve it. That is what we are trying to say.
इसमें, like, I'll also give a story. So, when I was at IIM Calcutta, so we used to have a night canteen. Now,
Sorry?
We used to have a night canteen.
Okay.
Night canteen. Now,
yeah, I remember.
जो भी रात तक जागेगा.
I had Maggie over there.
Correct. So, यहाँ पे दो चीजें, दो स्टोरी है एक के अंदर ही. जो भी रात तक जागेगा, उसको भूख तो लगेगी नाइट कैंटीन की. पूरा डिनर किया 9 बजे, फिर भी 11 बजे फिर से मैगी खाएंगे, राइट? सो एक तो ये होता है कि कई बार ना आपने उस सीन के साथ वो सेट ही कर दिया, 11 बजे तक मैगी मिलेगी, आपने पूरी ट्रेनिंग कर रखी है. सो समटाइम्स यू हैव टू ना, इतनी अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ फूड जो है कि घर पे हर टाइम बिस्किट्स पड़े हैं, हर टाइम चिप्स पड़े हैं. दिस वाज नेवर द केस इफ यू वर लिविंग इन जंगल्स. फूड इज नॉट अवेलेबल ऑल द टाइम, right? So the more availability of food sometimes make you much more prone to eating, and that's why night canteen hai to log वहां जाके मैगी खाएंगे ही खाएंगे. And secondly, what happens is people are very smart, especially the people who make food. If you have these 3 combinations together, which is a source of carbohydrate, a source of fat which you heat, and then नमक. नमक मतलब सेंधा नमक नहीं, अपना रिफाइंड नमक. These 3 टुगेदर, जब आप ये चीजों को डालते हो ना, आपको कोई मास्टर शेफ होने की जरूरत नहीं है. वो टेस्टी और एडिक्टिव बनेगी, वो एक कोकेन रिस्पॉन्स प्रोड्यूस करती है माइंड में. सो व्हेन यू हीट ऑयल, यू हैव अ सोर्स ऑफ कार्ब्स, एंड उसमें नमक डाल दो. और खासकर अगर वो कार्ब में थोड़ा मीठा भी हो गया तो और ही मजा.
Like we eat potato fries. That is a
so potato आ गया,
you want to eat
नमक आ गया
after that. So
correct,
that happens. Yeah.
Correct. And along with coke, see, इतनी बड़ी कंपनी साहब में कोक भी फ्री दे रही है, मीठा भी दे दिया उसने, बस अब बच के जाओ.
Correct. So Priyanka, we have lot many questions. We can do a quick recap also and continue this session over the next weekend. If you want to take more question, I can do that, but it would be great because I think this is too much information to absorb. So we can do a quick recap, and then rest of the question we can take.
Yeah, we can continue this session in the next episode.
So okay, we will just do a quick recap. So starting with some of the weight loss myths and what defines truly a healthy diet.
So I think one of the biggest things which are missing in today's diet is one, like there is extremism. So people will say this diet works, carnivore diet, vegan diet, keto diet, or like, high carb, low carb, high fat, low fat. That type of extremism is not something I would say which is something which is very healthy, because it works for them. What you need to have is a lot of personalization in diet. What works for you in your situation, in your weather, in your current state in life, in your work environment, because that personalization is what tells you what is truly healthy for you. So while it's good to learn from everyone, but the best doctor which will finally say that whether this diet is good for you or not is your own body, and you need to listen to that on an everyday basis. Another myth I find in diet is nobody talks about hunger. People say eat 4 times a day, eat every 2 hours, eat every 3 hours, but am I hungry? See, these are simple commonsensical questions. Your diet needs to be personalized to you, your state, and eat when you are hungry. If you are not hungry, if you are feeling unwell, you don't eat. Very simple.
Great. And tips for long-term gym motivation and a healthy lifestyle.
So the first one is, do not over expect what you can do in 1 month, but do not underestimate what you can do in 1 year. These are small baby steps which make all the difference. Don't be very dramatic around it. It is life. Small, simple steps, no drama, no announcements. These are the things that will go much longer. The third thing is, take your family along, take your friends along. If you have an accountability person, if you have an accountability buddy, or your family, your spouse who is working out with you, the chance of you succeeding in that is 3 times faster. And then do not be very targeted, counting steps, counting this, counting hours. Like, relax. Relax a little bit. Sometimes the reason you are not losing weight is more here than in what you're doing. So maybe this excess stress is what is causing you weight gain in the first place, and that's what you need to watch out for.
Right. And your take on intermittent fasting and calorie deficit for weight loss.
So intermittent fasting is a great concept. It is a concept which has always existed in nature, especially when you are eating when the sun is out and you stop eating when the sun is gone. That's the best way of intermittent fasting. But again, do not start it like that 16 8 hour of fasting if you are currently at 16 hours of eating and 8 hours of fasting. Go slow. Expect slow results, but they will come. This is the right way to live, because when your body, so if you keep on feeding your body all the time, your body is only in digestion mode. When will the cleaning happen? So cleaning happens in the fasting state. So you eat for some time and then let the body heal, relax, and maybe digest what is the leftover. So take it slow. If you are currently very far away from 16 18, I would say take it 1 hour per week and expect slowly I will get there in 6 months. Do not expect dramatic results, drama.
Right. And your take on power yoga, weight training, strength and conditioning.
So what you need in your muscles is, one, flexibility, second, strength, third, explosiveness, and fourth, smoothness. You have to make sure your workout routine is built around these 4 pillars. So it has some part of strength training, some part of cardio. I love dancing in that. Some part of flexibility training, which is around yoga. And then you have explosive movements in, like, either in dance, or sometimes in, like, just when you are out in GUD that time. So make sure, your workout routine keeps changing also with time. You do not want to repeat the same exercises over and over again. You want to try new things. Do not get bored in those exercises, because whatever bores the mind, assume it is not working for you very well. You want to be like, every time be challenged by your exercises. नया करो. और जब वो नया होता है, वो अनकंफर्टेबल होता है ना, वो अनकंफर्टेबल ही सबसे ज्यादा बढ़िया चीज लगती है ब्रेन को. उसको लगता है कुछ करना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज वो कर रहा है जो कर रहा है.
Right. And your take on binge eating and how to manage it.
So binge eating, one, do not get very disheartened. Let's say if you are on a health journey and you find yourself binge eating, emotional eating, it will happen once in a while. It is to be expected. Sometime it will happen. Be okay. Be kind to yourself. Be forgiving about that. But what you need to watch out for is, this is a learning episode. whenever my binge eating episode happen, I have to see, did my diet the previous day, was it lacking in any of the macronutrients like protein, fats, good carbs, your fiber, your multiple vitamins, minerals? Was it lacking, or was I going through an emotional state? Like, was I stressed? Was I, did I just had a bad review at office or anything like that? So I have to see, because that binge eating is usually a response to something that some minerals or some vitamins or some food that your stomach is eating, or some food that your brain needs. So you have to see, take it as a learning episode, but do not get disheartened in those.
Right. So, Priyanka, we will continue this session again next week. So, for our viewers, if you want to join our root cause challenge to explore personalized nutrition plan, expert guidance on weight training and yoga techniques that can support your sustainable weight loss journey, do explore our communities and our website to join us, and like us, comment on our videos, and share this video with someone who you feel that might find this information useful. And so it was great talking to you, Priyanka. Any last, I mean, few.
Sure,
So we
sure.
will continue this session next week also. But
Yeah, because this is such a big topic. Like, you see so many people who need help with their weight management, and there are so many myths around it. There are so many things which possibly are being done wrong, lack of personalization. And I hope through this session, people get a little bit view of, like, what should be my diet, what should be my workout routine, which is my workout routine for my body, according to my, different conditioning, mind conditioning and body conditioning that I have. And that's the idea that I want to leave with everyone, that personalized wellness is the future. You have to look at, is this right for me? Is this diet right for me? Is this workout right for me? And that's the, that's the thing I would say. Maybe this is the one which is missing in your weight loss journey.
right. So thank you, Priyanka, so much. We will see you again next week. And thank you so much again. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Bye.